begin. Hello, beautiful people of the world. My name is Dalton, coach of Rank Sleep Boxing. Welcome to our podcast, Tether Bell. I'm here with my lifelong friend, Gustavo. What it do, man? What it do? So we got a couple of topics to go over today. We got Ryan Garcia and his new coach, Derek James. Of course, we all seen about that. We got Canelo and a new opponent, which is technically still one of the Charlo brothers. Teofimo Lopez is now out of retirement. Did not last long. I'll talk about that later. And then Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou. So kind of diving right into it. I don't know if you've seen anything or if you guys have seen anything, but so Ron has a new coach. We kind of all seen that come after he fired his last coach, Goosen, and now he's at Derek James, who has Errol Spence Jr. He's got that fight coming up with Terrence Crawford. Good coach. A video that kind of stuck out to me, and I was watching the other day. That's why I'm kind of talk about it. Is they're doing a combination where he takes an angle and he throws the right hand, and as soon as he throws the punch, you see Derek like smack his guard to make sure he's keeping his hand up. So to me, I was like, that's the kind of coach that Ryan needs, because he's a lot of people look at Ryan not as a fighter but as a celebrity. So with that being said, they kind of let him cut corners, you know. And Derek is one of those kind of old style fighter like coaches. He doesn't really, I guess, have a personality. He's kind of like, we're here to work, learn. Yeah. I'm here to coach you. That's it. We're not friends. Yeah. We're not homies. I'm your coach. You're my fighter. That's all we are. That's it. And you could tell him like he's keeping Ryan honest. So we might see a whole nother side of Ryan his next fight or his next couple of fights, you know, which we talked about. He plans on retiring later on. I've mentioned the shorts a while back. But I think, you know, Derek James might be the coach that he needed. You know, the one, like, I think he messed up between Eddie Reynoso. I think he messed up with that. I think Eddie's an awesome coach. I think what he did by leaving Eddie, Eddie's like, no, we don't want you back, you know. So now he's with Derek. And I think Derek will, you know, keep on his toes and make him make those adjustments.
So is he already announcing that he's going to fight?
He's going to fight from who he is.
We don't know.
Now, there's a couple of names. You got Rolando Ramiro, you got Isaac Cruz, and you got a few other guys. Yeah, I knew you were going to be like, oh, Isaac Cruz. But there is some rumors. There's some, I don't know. It would be really cool. We know that Isaac Cruz is fighting on the undercard, right? We know he's the main event. Yeah. But we don't know who yet. But
Do you think?
It'd be, to be honest, I think it'd be too soon. I think. But Ryan did tweet, y'all make sure to watch Errol Spence July 29th, Las Vegas. But, you know, I don't know, because there's no promotion around it. If they were to promote Ryan Garcia and Isaac Cruz, it would sell quite a bit of tickets. But, I mean, Ryan's got potential. He's got the youth. He's got the speed. He's got power. He's got the audience behind him. Yep. He's got fans that would love to see him fight. So we'll see, you know, see where his career goes from here and having that new coach. You know, can his coach finally get him back on track and have him making those adjustments?
Will you watch the next fight he'll fight?
I won't pay for it, but I'll watch it.
You'll watch it, right?
Yeah, I won't pay for it. Yeah. I just want to see if he
learns
legit
boxer, or he still got the celebrity head or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel.
Because I showed you that video, and you've talked about that video too, where he's in the gym and he's practicing throwing his hook and he drops his right hand. The guy puts a piece of paper up there and he's like, quit doing that. And then it shows a video of Luke Campbell dropping him because he goes to throw the hook, drops his right hand, gets caught. Moving on down the line, we got Canelo fighting Charlo, which was originally supposed to be Jermall, and now he's fighting Jermell Charlo. And it said, you know, I've seen a lot of stuff. One, I said due to injury, but I have not seen anything about that. And then the second thing, I was reading an article today, said that Jermall deals with a lot of mental health issues. And he's saying Jermall hasn't fought in 2 years. He was going to come back, no tuna fight. Originally, he was supposed to come and fight Canelo, no tuna fight, nothing. Come out from 2 years with ring rust and fight. But and I don't know if he's been training or what.
Why did they give him the fight Canelo? Like, why did they say, okay, you're going to fight Canelo?
That's a good question. I think I'd rather see him fight Benavidez than fight the other. Yeah. Dude, I'm going to be honest, I haven't seen, read, nothing. Anybody go, I want to see Canelo fight Jermell Charlo or Jermall Charlo. I have not seen anything like that, man. I've always seen Benavidez and David Morrell. Those are the two big names that I've seen that people say, I want to see Canelo fight this guy. I've not seen Charlo.
So
I haven't seen
who makes this fights? Like, who makes this opponent? Like, Canelo, you're going to fight him. Like, who makes that?
It's going to be like a manager thing. That's going to be the people that run the WBC, that run each one of those. Nobody wants to see it. That's the thing, man. So with all the big fights we've had this year, the Plant, the Benavidez, the Garcia, the Davis. So the big one that sticks out is Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia. That was for no belts. That was literally just 2 fights, man, and they made a lot of money. Why? Because people want to see that fight.
Mm-hmm.
People don't want to see Charlo fight Canelo. They want to see Dave Benavidez fight Canelo. That's what I want to see. That's what you want to see. We've talked about it. We'd love to see that fight. Yeah, and
So
it
when
is
is this fight in September?
It's going to be September 30th in Vegas.
30th? Oh, okay.
September 30th in Vegas.
Okay.
And somebody said they haven't seen any videos of Charlo training. Maybe like he hasn't been training or whatever. I mean, to me, that's wild. So it was going to be, he hasn't fought in 2 years. He was supposed to fight Canelo and have 3 months to train for that fight.
Huh.
So I mean, 3 months, that's time. That's plenty of time to train. And you can sell a fight for Canelo. I mean, you're gonna make money.
Yeah, but not if you've been down for 2 years. You know, 3 months. You know.
I always wonder if that's like the catch, and maybe because his brother Jermell fought May 2022. So little over a year, but
is he still training though?
I mean, as far as I know, yeah. Like, I'm just curious if maybe that was like the catch. Like Canelo's like, I'll fight you, but you can't have no tune-up fight. You have to fight me because we've talked about before the contract.
Yeah.
So he can be like, if you want to fight me and make, a big payday, here's the requirements. You can't have no tune-up fight. You can't you have to do this, But that's all between the teams, go back and forth negotiation.
I mean, I see it, but I see it like that's I guess the right way or whatever. But I don't, and me, I feel like it's unfair. Just like with Davis and dude, they told him like you can't drink, you can't do this, you got to do this.
Oh yeah, the rehydration clause.
I was like, nah, that's kind of like.
But here's the thing, man. You're kind of in the loop. People don't know about that stuff.
They don't, because I didn't know.
Right.
I didn't know.
People don't know that there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes for even setting up a fight. What gloves you wear, how big the ring, who's refereeing, who's judging.
I remember when Mayweather fought Canelo. Mayweather was throwing a big fit about his gloves. He was like, "No, you're not gonna fight with these looks." I forgot what kind of gloves. There was some Mexican kind of gloves.
There was one. I don't know if there was one that it was Marcus Madonna and Floyd. And it was that one because he had a blue one. Now I watched the video. We're getting off topic a little bit, but I know what you're saying. But in that video, you can see Floyd puts a glove on, and you can see his knuckles.
Yep.
And he's like, "No, there's no padding in these."
Yep.
And he's like, "You put them on." And the guy's like, "Oh yeah, you're not wearing those." Because Mark, who's like Madonna's team was like, "Oh, you're just a kitty cat. You don't want to da." And he's like, "Then put them on." He's like, "You feel that? Yeah, that's your knuckle." "No, we're not wearing those." He's like, "You're not wearing those. He can wear Grant's, but he ain't wearing those gloves." You can see it looked like somebody's done wore them for like 6 years and was like, "You're fighting these." He's like, "No."
They got them out of the bag over here.
Yeah. They're like, "These are in the dumpster. You're fighting these." He's like, "Say less. I'll fight these oven mitts." But I mean, you're right. There shouldn't be that much big whatever, but they do it.
It's crazy.
They do it, and that's what they've been doing for a while, Jermell is undisputed at junior middleweight, 154. He's never been over 154 pounds in competition. He's going up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo. It don't look good. To be honest, it doesn't look good for either brother to fight Canelo. I think Canelo is going to, and I might be wrong, but on paper, it does not look good. You haven't, one brother ain't fought in 2 years. The other brother ain't fought in 1 year. You're going from 154 to 168 pounds. You've never fought nobody that size. Like, dude, it ain't looking too good for either one of the Charlo brothers.
But just like I said a while ago, I think it is like, all right, you're gonna fight I don't want to fight my little brother, and then the big brother was like, okay, now you're gonna fight me. I gotta,
If you look at it like that, they could do it, and it might work. That could be like a, publicity stunt.
Yeah.
They could be like, okay, we'll have little brother fight him. He's 154 pounds, and then you can fight the bigger brother. And they can be like, oh, Charlo's going to come back and get revenge for his brother. And they can make that a big... people like a story, I've noticed. They like a story.
Yeah.
Plant Benavidez. They've been fighting since 2017, with all the animosity built up back. People like to see that. It's kind of like the WWE effect.
That's what I was thinking.
That's what they want. They want the story. They want the animosity. They want that, that
rage
back and forth.
Yeah,
that grudge and rage match. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. And then another thing that really gets me as I'm reading this article about Canelo and the Charlos, is it says like rumored opponents, because he signed a 3-fight contract, but it doesn't tell you who they are. But they did say names. They said Benavidez. They said Devin Morrell, which we seen fight. He was had the autism trunks. That's Devin Morrell. He called out Benavidez. Yeah, he called out Benavidez. And then you have Errol Spence Jr. Why is Errol Spence Jr. on there? I don't know. He's like 147 pounds. Why is Errol Spence on there to fight Canelo? To me, that blew my mind. And even then, I'm like, Errol ain't even fought Terrence yet. I think Terrence is gonna win that fight. I'm like, why are they even saying Errol Spence Jr.? If they do, that's gonna be like next year till the end of next year. Because you think you got Errol Spence, you got Errol and Terrence. They're gonna fight. Chances are they're gonna do a rematch. Depending on how that fight, there'll be a trilogy. So you're looking at 6 months, and then potentially Errol fighting Canelo. So I'm like, that'll make y'all already counting your chickens and the eggs ain't hatched yet. You know what I mean? So
I feel like Canelo's gonna have it easy. That's the way he's selling it. Like Canelo's gonna be a walk in the park.
I mean, it ain't. Canelo's not a walk in the park, man.
No, I'm saying like Canelo's gonna whoop everybody. Oh yeah, that's what I meant. Like Canelo, like they should put Benavidez in first one.
The only fights right now with Canelo that if you ask me and anybody else that wants to see is Canelo Benavidez and then Canelo and Bivol. And that was a big rumor. Yes. They were like, Canelo. So if you would have asked me a month or two ago, Canelo was gonna fight Bivol in September. It didn't happen. There's not been a lot of stuff on that, but it did not happen. Now he's fighting Jermell Charlo. Nobody wanted to see that. We want Benavidez or we want Bivol. That's what the audience wants to see. That's who we want to see. We want to see Canelo get tested.
I'm kind of losing respect for him now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're supposed to be the
you're the main top dog. Yeah.
You fighting scrubs. I mean, they might not be scrubs, but I haven't heard them. So you know what I'm saying? Like,
they're good fighters, man. But
I mean, they ain't no Benavidez. They ain't no, Bivol. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on.
If you go out in the street and you're like, do you know Benavidez? Oh yeah, the guy fought playing. What about yeah. You know Jermell Charlo? No. Jamal Charlo? No. They're good fighters, but you're only gonna know about them in the boxing community, the boxing family. You're not gonna understand. You walk into some random guy at Walmart. Hey man, you need eggs? Hey, you know who Jermell Charlo is? You know, you're not gonna catch that. I mean,
I'm not taking away anything from them or whatever. But
no, they're good fighters.
They are, but I'm saying like I haven't heard of them. I mean, you know what I'm saying? The people I have heard, I think that's the people that he should fight. You know what I'm saying? And
if it makes sense, it makes money. You know what I mean? Or vice versa. It makes money, it makes sense. But I don't see that's not going to be a big pay-per-view fight.
No.
I don't see it.
No.
I don't see it at all. Moving on down the line. So a while back, what was it? Like a month ago, Teofimo Lopez fought Josh Taylor.
Yeah.
Right after the fight, they're like, who's your next fight? Blah blah blah. Teofimo Lopez says, I'm retiring. They don't pay me what I'm supposed to get paid. I'm going to retire. And I made it short. I was like, no, he's not going to retire. He's too young. He just came off a good win. He's going to go in retirement and then be like, he's going to listen. Is anybody going, I wish Teofimo Lopez came out of retirement or whatever. I knew there was going to be a stunt. Sure enough, comes out of retirement. He wasn't in retirement for I don't even think a month.
I don't think you can call that retirement.
But he made it. He's like, I'm going right? He's like, I'm going in retirement. He used to do it all the time. Floyd. Yeah. Love Floyd, but he would go, I'm retiring. After this fight, I'm retiring. But they would do it because they're like, all right, Floyd, we know you're retired. We'll pay you this much money to come out of retirement. He's like, all right. You ain't retired. You ain't know. Dude, you're in the gym training every day. You're running. You're sparring. Dude, you ain't retired. You retire when you're on the beach and you gain like 50 pounds. And man, I'm enjoying retirement. Dude, it's been not even a month. And you're like, all right, I'm out of retirement. And he's already gunning for Devin Haney. He wants Devin. Because when he went to retirement, Devin Haney was already wanting to get those belts at 135. He wanted those belts at 135. Tio came out, was like, you know what? Since you want those belts, come get them. Come fight me at 135. Because he said it. He said after Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis fight, he goes, I want the winner. If I stay at 130, if I go up to 135, I want Teofimo Lopez. I want so and so and so and so.
Haney can't get to 135, can he? I thought he was bigger than that.
He's littler than that. He's at 130. He's at the same weight class as Ryan. He's at the same weight class as. Well, now Ryan moved up. So you have Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney technically at 130.
Okay, yeah, that's
right. And Devin Haney's undisputed. He has all the belts. We talked about it. The only way Gervonta can become a world champion is he has to fight Devin Haney. Devin said after this fight, I either want the winner of them two, Davis and Garcia, or I'm going to move up and I want to fight Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez retires, and Devin's like, bet, I'll move up to that weight class and I'll get his belts. Because technically, Teo's undisputed at 135 or at 135.
So Devin's like, did he get his belt?
No, Teo's got the belts. He would have to get up there and fight somebody for those belts.
Oh.
Like they would be up for grabs. He'd have to vacate the belts.
Since dude retired, and he had the belts, right?
Not anymore. He still got them. He came back.
He was thinking like me. I'm retired. Hey, them belts coming with me.
He moved out. Devin's like, I'll move in to his spot. And I'll take his belts. Because now I can be undisputed at 130. And I'll be undisputed at 135. I'm the king of 2 weight divisions. He would have been like already cement his legacy. T.O. said, fuck that. You're going to fight. You want my belt. Come fight me. And he made a big pose. He's like, I don't want to see you run either. And he says, calls him a bitch. But he's like, if you want my belts, come get them. So I'm like.
So that's when he came out of retirement.
He didn't go out of retirement. But yes, that's when he came out of retirement. And I made a short about that yesterday. And I was like, Teofimo, I was like, that didn't last long. And he's gunning for Devin. And that'd be a good fight.
It sounds like a good fight.
Devin and T would be a good fight. Like,
who you going for?
Devin.
Really?
The reason I say that, Devin Haney, and I said this, I've been saying like all this stuff, right? I'm like, Devin Haney. So with the who did he fight last? He fought Lomachenko, right? Devin Haney fought Lomachenko. If you look at that, it was T.O. versus Loma. T.O. beat Loma. And then it was Teofimo Lopez, George Kambosos. George Kambosos beat Teofimo Lopez. Devin Haney fought George Kambosos. Devin Haney beat George Kambosos. So if you're looking at it, it goes Loma, T.O., George, Devin. Devin beat all of them. Devin beat George, and George beat you. So it's like Devin's going to beat you. Devin beat the guy that beat you up. You think you can beat him? He beat the guy that made you look like you didn't know you was doing.
Dang.
So if you ask me, Devin's going to win. But will it be a good fight? Yes. And then there's a big controversy between Devin and Loma. Everybody's heard. I've heard Devin lost. But I had Devin up 1 round. So I could have seen it being Devin, or I could have seen it being a draw, and I wouldn't argue with either or. But when I watched that fight, I watched it live. I had Devin up 1 round. So he got it, but barely. He barely had it. And it was a split decision on Devin Haney. It wasn't unanimous. It was a split. So it could have been either Devin or it could have been a draw. That's how I had it. That's how I had it scored.
So they're gonna fight at 135, right?
Yeah, and that'd be at 135
So,
if that fight happens, because technically he's still at 130. But if it makes money, it makes sense. If they want to pay him X amount of dollars to fight T.O., then it makes sense. He'll do it.
So what is Cruz at 130?
Cruz at 130. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what you. And speaking of that, I don't mean to interrupt you, but Gervonta's team has come out and said that they'd like to fight either Devin Haney or fight Cruz. They said that.
Yeah.
Either one of the
Either or. He said, we either want Devin Haney, and they can become, if they beat Devin, they're automatically undisputed. They have all the belts. If they fight Cruz, it's a good payday. And I know you've been wanting to say, I want to see him fight Cruz. He's ducking my boy Isaac. And you're just now like, I like him. I want to see Isaac fight. So we get to see him fight anyway on the fight
On the
with July 28th.
Oh, July 28th?
I'll have to go with Davis though on the Haney fight.
See, I'm gonna be going with Devin. I'll be going with Haney. Is that what you said? Or you said Davis?
Davis.
Yeah, I'm going with Haney. I'll be going with Haney just because I've known him a lot further throughout his career. And so how I see that fight, we're getting off trail, but how I see that fight, Devin and Davis, is a boxing match. Is a boxer versus a brawler. It's a knockout artist versus a boxer. Devin will have to be dotting his I's and crossing his T's to keep Davis back there from landing that big knockout punch. Davis is going to have to take the fight to Devin, and in doing so, get a little dirty to land that big punch. If Devin can dance around for 12 rounds and do like the Floyd effect, he can win. But if Davis lands that one punch, which is all he needs, it'd be it. It'd be a wrap. So it would be a beautiful fight. I would be on the edge of my toes watching that
I feel
fight.
like they both got that Floyd style.
To an extent.
I think
One of them circles, the other one comes forward. Devin's the boxer that moves around. Davis is the one that comes forward. I'm gonna knock you out.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch a lot of his fights, it's him walking down the guys and landing that big overhand, and landing that big hook, and landing that big uppercut. You know, he's gonna walk you down. Devin's gonna box you going in circles, and it would be an amazing fight, dude. It would be a lot of build up in that fight. But with that being said, what sucks is how the boxing world is. They're gonna take that and draw it out. They're gonna get as much money, as much invested in that fight. It sucks. Yeah, right. That's what I felt about the Terrence and Errol Spence fight. Dude, it's been years. Again, from like 2016, 17, 18, and then building up to fight. And they both would call each other out at every fight. I want Spence. Spence would win. I want Terrence. I'm like, why was y'all fighting already? It's been years, dude.
I can hear Gervonta now. I'm going to get you, Haney.
Yeah, he's mad. He's mad. Like, yeah,
I'm getting you, Haney.
get him. That's what we want to see, man. As fans, that's what we want to see. You know, but we'll see. And Devin Haney and Tio might not ever fight. Might be a year, so they fight. You know, the thing is, when you're on that level, which is the Devins, the Tio, the Garcias, all those fighters, they only fight once or twice max a year. Canelo is like one of the only OGs that fight more than 2, 3, 4 times a year.
But yeah, I mean, look who he's fighting though.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
His
Like,
hands don't look too hard.
Yeah. Now that's true too, but if you look at him coming up to get the belts, in 1 year he fought 4 world champions and stole all their belts in 168. He literally cleaned the division.
Oh, he done got
So
beat.
now he's just chilling. He went up.
Yeah.
Now he's fighting the kind of lesser oppositions, but
But if
they're still good fighters. Benavidez, Morel.
If he'd have fought Benavidez, it just seems like it'd been a giant payday.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
both of them, dude. That
Yeah.
fight would be huge, man. We keep going back to that. We keep going with Tio. Give Canelo a kill.
No.
But yeah, I agree. Benavidez and Canelo would be a huge fight, man, for everybody. You have Hispanics versus Hispanics, and we talked about that. They would be just, nah, man, Benavidez, and nah, man, Canelo. You ain't a real Mexican if you don't fuck with Canelo, and it'd be just back and forth. It would be huge, and that's probably why they're like, nah, let's not do it, man. We'll be having them go at it, dude.
But you know what? If Canelo keeps on doing this crap right here, I'm just gonna switch over. I'm just, because.
You going American?
Yeah, I'm going American. I got my green card now.
I mean, we'll see, man. I mean, I'm still on that page of this year has been the best year of boxing. I mean, for a long time. We're starting to get these big fights we want to see. And leading up to that next big boxing fight, we got Tyson Fury already confirmed fighting Francis Ngannou, who left the UFC because they didn't pay him enough. I paid them enough, right? Now he's October 28th, Saudi Arabia, Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou. And I guarantee that card's going to be stacked. I bet they'll have a good fight card on that as well. I mean, it's going to be a big.
They ain't showed the card yet?
No, they probably won't show that until like a month out, if not later on than that. But already, that's awesome. And right before the podcast, I was looking up stuff, so I have something to tell you guys that are watching. But this is the most money Francis Ngannou has ever made. In the they said the amount that even come close to what he's getting paid to fight Tyson Fury is if Francis Ngannou became the champion. I mean, he beat John Jones. Count that payday and count him defending his belt like 3 or 4 times. Then he would make what he's going to make fighting Tyson Fury. That shows you boxing payday, UFC payday. In one night, he's going to make, ain't no telling how much money. And we were talking about earlier with Floyd and Conor McGregor. Floyd made $280 million that night in one night fighting Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor made $130 million. UFC ain't paying you that. They ain't paying that kind of money.
And I don't
You're going through more abuse, if you ask me.
Yeah,
you are. Boxing.
Yeah.
You're getting kicked, slammed, choked. Floyd. Boxing, you're getting hit. Which UFC, you're going through way more punishment, if you ask me. I think you're going through way more punishment.
Man,
If you look at the injuries
people in UFC, you see them all bloody up, the ring covering blood.
Yeah, they're cut up, their skulls are cracked in. Dude, it's like, and for what? Y'all ain't even making that kind of money.
I wonder how much they make. Like,
you can look it up. You can look up how much did so-and-so make this fight, how much did so-and-so make this fight. I mean, it's insane, dude.
I mean, if you, like you just said, he's going to make more money than he will ever make in the UFC.
In the UFC, when he fights Tyson Fury.
And it's kind of sorry because,
Look up how much money John Jones makes in the last fight.
I think it was like 5.
Look up how much that was. We'll put it in comparison. He made, his last fight was a big fight too. He fought the champion. John Jones became champion of the UFC. Yeah. So I want to see exactly how much John Jones made. We'll put a comparison on Tyson Fury and Francis versus them.
But I feel like the UFC is bigger, that they should pay their people more. You know what I'm saying?
That's the big question. Why don't they? What we got, Davis?
So John Jones' most lucrative fight was the rematch with Daniel Cormier.
Cormier, yeah.
And it ended as a no contest. Bones, John Jones,
what?
Allegedly received $580,000 for that fight.
Wow.
$580,000. Not even $1 million.
Wow.
And then these fighters, the Canelos, the Terrence, the Errols.
Millions.
Yeah. That should make the UFC be like, man, we need
to go on strike.
We need to fix something.
They need to go on strike.
John Jones's career earnings is just at $10 million.
Man.
And he's gonna make
his whole career. And Francis Ngannou,
26 matches.
and Francis Ngannou is about to make way more than that. Way more than that. Is that not wild? If I'm a UFC fighter, every boxing match, I'm gonna be sitting here like this. I should have done boxing. Right? I'm like, I'm not doing that. Y'all ain't making no money, dude. And this kind of circles back to the Jake Paul Nate Diaz fight. People clown Nate Diaz and people clown Jake Paul like, oh man, Nate Diaz fighting a YouTuber. Well, look how much money they make. Like, you looking at them as a joke, but the money they're making ain't no joke.
I don't blame them. I would be too.
Yeah, you'd like, if you look at you, okay, I'm Nate Diaz, I've had this many fights, I've been getting messed up. I'm going to fight a YouTuber, Jake Paul, and make millions. More than I've ever made in my whole career of the UFC. You bet your ass I'm going to fight Jake Paul.
Hey, where I sign that?
Right.
Probably the biggest payday ever was probably Conor McGregor. What did you say?
Mayweather. Yeah.
No, it was
Dustin
Poirier.
How much?
$5 million.
Wow.
That
doesn't even sound comparison.
Allegedly, Conor McGregor got $5 million plus a piece of pay-per-view sales.
That ain't the same, dude. But he made $130 million fighting Floyd. Welcome to boxing.
Oh man.
I mean, that is insane, dude.
Golly.
And people always say, boxing's a dying sport, and to an extent, boxing can be boring. But look how much money they're making, dude. If you're an athlete, why would you not box? I mean, the money you make, dude, it's insane, man. It's insane.
Then we just talk and I feel like UFC is more dangerous. I mean, boxing is dangerous,
I agree,
but I feel
100%.
like you getting your arm broke, your shoulder mislocated, your toe mislocated, ankle mislocated, choked out, blacked out. I mean, dang.
And for what?
500. If you're a
not
champion,
even to make like 1% of what Canelo and Tyson Fury and all them make. That is insane.
I wonder how like a regular Joe, how much they'll make. What do you think about 9,000?
It's like an average boxer.
Yeah, not like average UFC. Like a.
Oh, not the big names. Probably.
No.
Probably
5,000.
Probably 50,000.
I wouldn't even say that much. If you
5,000?
look at it, like an average Joe boxer, they typically make like 55,000. And we know boxing makes more than UFC. So they're probably making
25. I mean, that's not worth.
Yeah.
You know how much they train?
Yeah.
25,000, and they train every day.
And a lot
They're
of
probably only going to fight a couple times a year. It's only 50,000 a year if you win. So.
And you got to think too. You're not putting in consideration that I have to pay my coach, I have to pay my nutritionist.
Yeah.
You get to pay your strength and conditioning coach.
I wonder if
you have different people on your payroll. Like as a fighter, you're like, I'm gonna make $10 million. I'm gonna give you 50,000. You 50,000. I mean, but like you're not. They're on. You hire these guys to be on your payroll. You pay your coach, your strength and conditioning coach, your nutritionist.
Well, let's not be too crazy here. $10 million to us is a lot of money.
Right. 100%.
But if you compare it to boxing, it's nothing.
No. Yeah, the boxing, you're just barely scraping the bottom of the barrel. They're making a couple $100 million. And then you saying John Jones made 500,000. Dude, they're like pocket change. That's light work. Because that's what I give that's what I get my kids every fight. 500,000. Their dad won. Here you go.
That's what his private jet to the fight cost.
Yeah. That's insane.
I'm broke. We're going to 4 for 4 at Wendy's.
Is there anything you guys would like to talk about?
No, I'm good.
I mean, I thought we covered a lot, man. A lot of interesting topics. And,
yes, sir.
If you like what you see, if you like what you hear, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. You know how it is.
Tell your mama, your daddy, the son, the neighbor, everybody to subscribe so y'all can get me at the mud because I'm still trying to get at the mud.
It's hot.
Hot at the factory. I got hurt. My ribs hurting and everything, getting cramps out here in this factory life. So y'all make sure y'all get me at the mud. Area up.
Time.
Come on, how long was that?
That was a good podcast.